Hey guys, welcome to my live stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream. I just had to set the yeah, all the options right. Deactivate translator. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. Hope you are all right. Yeah, great to be back. I was just setting up everything here, putting together the desk, and it's just so much. I have like all these different things all around me. Yeah, and it's fun. And today I wanted to upload. By the way, I created a thumbnail for the live stream. Yeah, but I couldn't upload it earlier. I will look into that. I'm not sure why. I'm pretty certain I can upload it later after the video is done. So at the very least, I will upload the new thumbnail later on. I put a few flowers on it, a few cacti in the background, all that stuff, and I really like it. And the animals are also on the thumbnail. So yeah, I really like that, and I will try to upload it next time. We'll see. I have no idea why it didn't work. Okay, yeah, great to be back. Just wanted to say that today I have the chili back because they started to flower. They have the first flower, and I want to discuss that later. Yeah, it looks cool. Flowers are white, the petals are white. At least it looks like that on first impression. And yeah, I will have a look at that later. Then yeah, like I said yesterday, I was flooded with book orders after my video, and now I've been buying stuff that I need for the channel, for the live stream. Hey Robert, great to see you. Hope you're all right. Yeah, now that I got a few book orders, it allows me to buy the necessary things for the live stream. I just bought new sowing soil, 3 bags. I should have bought more. I consider buying more. I just didn't want to overload the post carrier, the local postman or woman. I don't want them to have to carry too many packages at once to me. I always feel guilty. I always have a guilty conscience. So Kami is besides me and just behaving weird. I'm not sure why. I think she's on the hunt. She has thought, like the cat has seen a mouse, and it was days ago, and she's still on the hunt. I tried to get the mouse out of the house before Kami notices, and yeah, now she's crawling in the bookshelf. She never did that before. Let me. I try to show you, okay? Carefully. Hey, Kami, are you all right? Yeah. So that's the situation. Kami is crawling the bookshelf. Hey guys, sorry, I had to take the camera away for a moment just to show you. I'm not sure what she's doing, but I think she's hunting a mouse. Are you all right? Alles okay? Gotta speak German with her. She's behaving weird today. I hope everything's all right, you know? She's an older cat. But great to see you. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry for the disruption. But with a cat, you can never really decide what to do. She will if she wants to get my attention, she's crashing the live stream without a thought, you know. But yeah, great to see you. Always happy to take questions in the live stream. Always saying that, but I want to remind everyone that I really do. Apart from that, I have a lot of soil for repotting. Maybe we are repotting a few seedlings here and there. Next time I want to repot one of the chilies. I'm still looking at bigger pot sizes to sow out or to replant later on, that we can pot up our chili. Check it out. I think it's time to show it. it's okay. I mean, if we had repotted it, and if I mean myself, if I had repotted it more often, it would probably already be bigger. But it's flowering here in center somewhere. I'm not sure if you can see the white flower there. White flower. And I'm looking forward to it. This has been very rewarding with the chili. They are not so hard to grow, at least so far. Last time when I had chili, it was a little bit more difficult. I was just not competent at the time. So yeah. Oh, by the way, I wanted to show you this. I got these as a donation to the channel, to the live stream. These are hanging basket pots, and I want to use them for Hilde Winterer hybrids, cactus hanging basket plants, and I can hang these into the greenhouse. Yeah, and they flower nicely. And if you have them, if you have these Hilde Winterer and you try to grow them like a columnar cactus, it's kind of not working because they have this slender, almost snake-like growth that hangs down. And you can really, if you put them like this in the middle of the greenhouse, this could be great. So we will be potting a few of them in the next couple of weeks or so, maybe. I have Hilde Winterer, and I want to get them out of the way because they require too much space if you don't hang them up like this. And these were just I don't know, not expensive. You can buy these over the internet, and that thing here is attached like this. You know, you can like anchor this thing in here. Yeah, and that usually they are good for a few years with the plastic, that kind of plastic. The longer you have them, the easier it breaks, and that plastic thing usually breaks first. But this is okay for now. Maybe 4 years. And then the plastic might become brittle. Okay, then I wanted to show you, I got a new water hose for watering outside, by the way. Not trying to show the manufacturer, but it's 30 meters now. 30-meter water hose. Because the last time I had, like when I tried rolling that 50-meter hose out, it was a disaster. That it was like battling an anaconda. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. You are in a cactus live stream. Vegetables. Here's some chili. Yeah, and I want to start watering the cactus seedlings now. I have a lot of different ones that we have grown on the live stream. And I'm going through them now. Oh, and I also I brought the pumpkin that we have sown out. Let me bring it. But it's in a big box, so this might block a little bit of the view. Check it out. So this is how I've been sowing out the strawberry seeds recently. Just covering with a lid. Yeah, and I wanted to show you what has happened since we have sown out the pumpkin seed. So this is a certain cultivar. I'm not sure which one. The roots already come down at the pot, so I might have to repot very soon. I was born in Saarland, Germany. I'm a born Saarländer. That's a little bit different than an actual German. We're somewhere in between. So yeah, and I will report that thing. We will see how it develops. I have heard bad stories about pumpkins growing aggressively, being hard to control. We will see. We will try it out. It will just be interesting to see what kind of a plant that is. Yeah, German accent. Saarland. Okay, yeah, I want to water these. By the way, these are the strawberries. This was some sort of a set to sow out, and I haven't seen any germinations yet. I'm actually disappointed. I had expected them to come up a little better. But yeah, we would see. Maybe I didn't have the right temperature. I want to water it just a little bit. And also that pumpkin thing. I have no idea what kind of a like how this will grow within the next 2 months, but we will see. If this takes over all the cacti, then it's going out. Yeah, and just misting the soil a little bit because I still can't see any germination, and I don't like that. I would really like to see any of my white strawberry cultivar come up. So okay, I will put back like lid back up, and this will go under the lamp again. Like temperature, maybe 25 degrees if it's under the lamp, and that could be great. I love that. You know, I enjoy working with these boxes, like these big plastic boxes. You can work clean. You can keep everything out. It's really fun to do it like that. I've been sowing out with many different things in my life, and that's really fun. So yeah, I will bring these back sometime soon. But now I just want to get started with the watering. Let me get that thing that I always put below me. But I just want to clean it up a little. Last time it was a huge mess and everything looked horrible. So I brought a little bit of kitchen paper and I want to clean that up here. Getting busy below the desk. But I promise I'm just cleaning. I just want to have that dirt down off that thing. Okay. Nice. Okay. Yeah, these plastic containers, they are often used for sowing out. Can claim the idea as original, but it's really fun. It helps to keep away the pests that like to get to the plants. With the cactus seedlings that are out, we had a lot of issues like fungus gnats, little flies that just live to bother. They just live to mess with my seedlings. So yeah. Okay, let's go through the other seedlings. I wanted to show you these. These are Teleflora, a cultivar by Robert Gräser. Sorensia telegona crossed with Echinopsis irisi grandiflora, and it's an intergeneric hybrid with a really big flower, pinkish I think is the color that would describe it, and yeah, big, 20 centimeter sometimes. At least that's when I measured it. It's been a while ago, but the flowers are always impressive. And these are from last year. I had 7 fruits on that one plant. And they were actually big ones, nothing small, really big. And these are one of the 7, from one of the 7 fruits that I had last year. And they look great, actually, but I would love to repot them. It's just that right now, everything's going good. I feel like when I touch them now, I might be jinxing it. So I will water it just a little bit. But these are really, they have potential. Especially since they are all growing, even the small ones. There are some that are really delayed, substantially delayed. Maybe even variegated to a certain degree, but they are still growing, and that means a lot. Sometimes these variegated seedlings are not living. They are just kept alive by being grafted, and in this case, they survive on their own root, and that is pretty good. Hey, welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Everything's okay. I'm currently buying stuff for the live stream. This morning I bought soil, new sowing soil, 3 bags of sowing soil, and I'm buying a few like pots for sowing out, square pots and that kind of stuff. Yeah, trying to get a few bigger pots for the big plants that I want to repot this year. And yeah, and I have a lot of book orders that I got. I did a little video this week, and it was completely I had more orders in one day than I had the year before in total, probably, roughly, you know. I had a lot of orders coming in, and that allows me to finally get a few things for the channel that I wanted to have in a while. Maybe I'm getting a microphone. We will see. I'm not sure if I can pair it with the smartphone, you know. But that is what I'm currently looking into. Maybe a GoPro a little, like a very old one, maybe 8, something. I'm currently looking at 8, and that is a very old kind of model. I just want to be able to film the new season. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, and it's good for the live stream. I'm really happy that I can now. I have a little budget. It's not much, but I have a budget this month, and that can lay the groundwork for the whole season. So that was perfect. Great timing, and it's always good when you are, you know, when people appreciate what you do, when people like what you do, when you, it must be a terrible feeling when you say, hey guys, I have this and that, and people just hate you because you're not a good person. And it was just great to see how many people posted, commented when I did a little video just to show the book, and it was great. It's not enough for that. It's just a few $100, but it will allow me to buy soil pots. You know, right now I'm not making that much money. I can barely scrape by without really investing. And that just allows me to buy the necessities for the new season. We would see what I need, but mostly pots and soil. And yeah, maybe something, you know, a few chargers to charge the smartphones, stuff like that. Bigger greenhouse will eventually also come, but I'm not there yet. The channel still needs to grow. And eventually we will build another greenhouse on the live on the channel. Yeah, I always, like last season, I always bought 1 or 2 bags of soil every time I got a little order, and this time I want to buy it at once, or maybe right away, that I don't have to do that, you know. It's just difficult when, like, everything has become more expensive, really everything, and the quality, like the square pots, just for example, I was looking into square pots this morning just so we can repot here these things that we are using a lot, and they have become more expensive, and the quality has dropped. Like when I press these too hard, they break. So I was just looking at better square pots this morning. Everything, prices have doubled in a few years, because I still remember last time I had bought a lot of square pots, and they had half the price they have today, and were better quality and everything. Not a good sign. It's not a sign for wealth, you know, like that everything's going great. Okay, yeah, I want to water the seedlings here. I have a lot of seedlings again today that need water. It's not just that, but a large part of the live stream will once again be watering. They just need that right now. And a little bit of repotting. Want to do more repotting today. And we'll try to get, maybe we can take out a few of these, like that are still in the bag. Maybe we can get rid of that bag in the case of 1 or 2 of them. Okay, yeah, I just want to check on the seedlings here. This is one of the containers where the seedlings are not very big for the age. These are still this is the first generation of soil that we have used on the live stream, and for that the seedlings are tiny. I consider repotting, but they are so small that it might be stressful. That's great. Yeah, every now and then you just have luck. I once bought a greenhouse, not a greenhouse, I bought a cactus collection, and with it I got an immense amount of pots, and now they are used up. And sometimes when you're lucky, you really need to fill up the storage, you know. So I know how it is. Every now and then you also get lucky. So yeah, these here, I would love to transplant them into the second generation soil, but they are really small. This is not looking like... They have grown a little. I can see spines, but it's just very small, very, very slow growing here. I will put this aside, but maybe we repot them. I will look at them the way they, like the impression that the soil gives me when the water has sunken in a little. I want to wait a little to just see how that soil looks when it's wet. These here, genetically weak, genetically troubled, one already rolled out of the way. Goodbye. Never to be seen again. It doesn't matter, because if they don't have a good root and can roll like that, it means they are gone. I don't want to waste time with them. These here have been genetically troubled. I'm watering them every time the soil dries up, but they have barely grown in the last months. There's one seedling here, check it out. The difference in size between this seedling and the others. And right now, this one is my best bet at getting a good and healthy seedling. So I will water that, just spraying the soil. I like when the seedlings get that kind of a cleaning sensation, like that continuous cleaning that you do. It just helps to wash off everything that could be blocking light. A little bit of mineral buildup also isn't healthy. It's not a huge deal, but sometimes it can be good when the seedlings are perfectly clean. It just doesn't allow so much room for like a starting point to attack for the pests and all that can claim these little seedlings. I watered it once now, and I want to spray it again, because when the soil was so dry, it might need a while. Okay. Yeah, the one thing that I personally don't like is that the others have barely grown. There are a few that have spines and that definitely have potential, but for now they are still way behind. And this is one of the hybrids where you can wait, where you can really invest the time. Sometimes it can take up to a year for these weakish seedlings to eventually turn around. Sometimes you lose them, just delayed over time. We might graft one or two of them just to experiment. But for now, I would just leave them. I just corrected the position a little bit so they don't fall over. They are so small that they are basically straight in the soil, surrounded by the soil sometimes, because they are just like a millimeter tall. And that's unhealthy in general. That's not a good thing. So I try to get them a little advantage over the soil just by placing them perfectly centered. But that doesn't mean they will make it. These look very bad. Yeah. Sometimes you shouldn't keep these around. What species do you grow at the moment? These are different ones. Let me see what this is. This is Imperialis, Sorensia telegona, crossed with Echinopsis irisi grandiflora. Yeah, that's that one. And it's the seedlings that I have, they are usually hybrids with different parents in my greenhouse. So usually very different kind of cacti crossed with each other. Robert, what do you want to ask about Lobivia winteriana? Let me know. I'm happy to answer. But yeah, I have a few Lobivia winteriana seedlings among them too. Everything is different. A lot of multi-hybrids that already involve 5, 6 different parents, different generations of hybrids already involved, like flying saucer, all these classic hybrids, pink stripes. Yeah, today's hybrids, they have a good 50 years of hybrid breeding and maybe longer. Okay, so these here, I've repotted them into sowing soil, and that is a good all-round soil. I like it for cactus seedlings. Sometimes you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Just get a classic thing that is intended to sow out into it, and yeah, make sure that it's not too wet. Like with the cactus seedlings, what I'm always doing is making sure that the soil dries out. But that's it. Apart from that, when the soil is dry, I water it again right away. I try not to keep them in that kind of a dry state for too long now, because they are just they are mostly water, little seedlings of this size, and if you miss out on watering them, then they will very fast get smaller. And here's a good example. These are dehydrated. These are really dehydrated and need water. So I might actually put them in a bag today. We will see. Powdery skin. I don't think that it's normal. Doesn't really sound like it. Maybe it is something from the soil. Maybe it is something like a remnant from the fertilizer. Hard to tell. Just make sure it's not mealybug or something like that, you know? When I hear powdery, I instantly think of mealybug. So check out that it isn't that. Yeah, that those classic white puffy kind of areas, you know, they spread that stuff everywhere. And if not, it could be from a fertilizer, maybe. Not sure. So these need water now, and then we will see if we can maybe move them a little, correct the position that they are in. I always like to do that, because the cactus seedlings in nature, nobody cares if they are crooked, and if they are crooked in nature, then they will not make it. And here you can really, like, it's not that they can't survive being crooked, but it increases the likelihood that something can get to that seedling. You know, when the seedling's already leaning over like this, then it's already much bigger likelihood that an insect can get to it. The pests from the soil can easier infect it. Damping off, because you have it close to the soil level, where that classic damping off infection starts. So yeah, yeah, could also be mildew. You shouldn't see so much on it on cacti. It's possible. It has a little bit of blunt, dark green kind of color, and the new growth looks brightish green. But yeah, if in doubt, send me a photo. I'm happy to have a look. Normally, I don't think that anything about Lobivia winteriana should be powdery, puffy, you know, like that. Send me a photo. I would love to know what it is. Or post it somewhere. Send me via email. Happy to have a look. So yeah, let me. Oh, and it could be maybe they have been spraying something. You know, maybe they have been. Let me see. Sometimes they use sulfur as a preventative for fungal infections. Maybe they've been using something like that. That you then find again on the leaves, maybe. Okay, I want to spray them. Just a little water here. And then I wait until everything has settled in. Then I spray them again. And then I hope that they'll be flexible enough so I can move the seedlings. I have started bringing in seedlings, and I have a shelf with seedlings in front of me, and I might actually have Lobivia winteriana seedlings on the shelf. So let me just have a look, okay? Give me a second. Let me see. I have a lot of Lobivia here, but not Lobivia winteriana, unfortunately. No. No, it was worth a try, but I don't have it. I'm still in the process of bringing in seedlings into the house because they were too small. And yeah, I put up 2 shelves now and I'm filling them up, and it will be interesting. Oops, I kicked the camera. I apologize. So let's spray this again. And I really hope I can figure out how to upload my self-made thumbnail that I made for the cactus live stream and for the plant live stream. I posted it on Facebook earlier, but I couldn't upload it. Every time I tried to upload the photo, I just saw a black menu, just a black image. I'm not sure. I'm generally incompetent when it's about that kind of stuff. Everything that works with dimensions. So maybe I need a little bit more time for that. But I will definitely upload it for the previous videos then. Okay. Yeah, and I moved a few of the seedlings. Mostly I pushed them a little bit deeper into the soil, but that's it. And they look okay. They still have space in the pot, a little deeper. Here a little deeper, here a little deeper. But these will, if I don't forget to water them on a regular basis, they will probably make it now. They have reached a decent size. I have no idea what that is. Maps? I have no idea. I mean, I can barely read a map, if that has anything to do with it. Like in school, when you are trying to draw, when we took a vacation on holiday and tried to read a map, I cannot read maps. I'm just not that type of brain guy. My brain's poorly functioning, and when I have a map in front of me, I cannot. I can't think in it, you know. And no idea what the other stuff is. I would love to, like, I'm looking into it. If it's really a question, I'm happy to look into it. I just haven't heard that before. So yeah, also happy if you want to explain. I'm happy to hear it. If not, I will just look it up later. So, okay. This will go back to the lamp. And I would spray that next time it dries up. And yeah, for now they are growing nicely, really healthy. These here, there are a few that are growing healthily and a few that are dehydrating, and that is an issue. I don't like that when we're losing seedlings, because they're dehydrating to a point where it's really getting dangerous. So let me spray them. It's kind of hard to water them so much that they are not dehydrating, but not as much that the fungus gnats can have a good time with them. That is the reason some of them are a little bit more dehydrated, because it's a fine line in between watering just enough and a little bit too much that it just gives the pests an advantage. So yeah, trying to water them now a few more times that everything's good. Have a good night. Sleep well. And thank you for having been here. I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, so these here, in general, I will have to water these more often, and it will come at the cost of the risk that we might lose 1 or 2 to fungus gnats. But at that point, when you have this kind of a dehydration, you have to ignore that, because otherwise we are losing seedlings either way, you know? Like, and we would probably lose more. Here's one that expired. And the one thing that I want to say, like we have transplanted them, it could be that some of the seedlings that are now slowly starting to expire had been damaged beforehand. Could have been during the move, when I moved them into the new medium. Moving seedlings is always risky. But yeah, sometimes you have to do it sometimes. So here's a seedling that has a bad root. We could graft that. But it would have to be today. And it looks like it's already pretty deep. We will see. I will put it aside. But I'd rather not. And the fact that that seedling here, that this loss happened, shows why I try to water them a little bit more conservatively. So we will see. Here's a seedling that I want to just lift up. Really not, this is not well done in regards to the way the seedlings are in the soil, and I need to correct that now. You just, like, you can't just stick the seedlings into the soil and be done with it. You have to really make it in a way that gives them the ability to live, to take in water, to get sunlight. Sometimes you really have to wiggle around a little bit and really get them in. And at the same time, you have to be careful not to rip off the root. And that's not easy. Okay. Yeah, and most of the problems here have to do with the fact that some of the seedlings look better than others. We'll have to keep an eye on them. Okay. So let's open a few of the ones that are in the bag. I want to look into those. Okay. Yeah, this is not good. Check this out. These are Imperialis. It's the same that I like, a different fruit from the same plant that I've shown earlier. And no life, not really growing. Here's a seedling that expired. There's a lot of variegation in this thing. And that is why the seedlings haven't grown since they have germinated. It even looks like the first generation of soil that we used maybe 3 months ago. And for that, they should be much bigger. So here's a seedling that I want to take out. It's milky white, transparent. It will expire within the next couple of weeks. I mean, it's already gone, but you will then see it, slowly just starting to decompose. And it doesn't have to be in the bag, so I'm taking it out. Apart from that, yeah, the other seedlings, some of them are green. So it's not completely hopeless. There's still potential here. We could really eventually get a seedling or two. We will just not get that huge container full of healthy seedlings that I had hoped to get. So let's spray them. Because spraying, I like that. Just encourages the seedlings a little bit to, I don't know, to face the elements. If they are not able to survive, if they are not capable of just surviving on their own route, then sometimes pushing them can speed things up. I'm not saying, overstress your seedlings, but if you're seeing that a seedling couldn't live under real life conditions, then why keep it? Why waste time with it? Okay, so here's something. I have transplanted these, and I'm glad that I put them back into the bag, because this seedling here is not in the soil the way it's supposed to be. I would spray everything. There are a few seedlings that are white, variegated, not not talking much about them. They are a waste of time, but I leave them. If they survive, they survive. That's good. You know, I don't want to start selecting seedlings because sometimes you can't really tell early on. Some seedlings can produce a little bit of chlorophyll, and you sometimes don't see it in the beginning. So I just leave them. But if I see that they're doing poorly, maybe infecting the whole container, then I take them out. Yeah, and the green ones here, they are okay. These are already 3 months old. This is a very unhealthy looking cross. So I would spray them one last time now. That one seedling that fell over, I just put it a little deeper, carefully. But I don't like when seedlings fall over, especially not when it's a variegated seedling. Here's a like this is just skin of a expired seedling. I can take that out. I really try to, if we lose seedlings in a closed bag, I really clean up. And also if they are out, I don't leave any kind of remnants of other seedlings, of expired seedlings lying around. That just leads to dirty soil, damping off. Okay, so here's another one where I've repotted. And again, I'm always happy to take questions. If not, I'm just going through the containers. Discussing the stuff that we have sown out. And we have sown out a lot. Different kind of cacti. Yeah, these here are also not growing well. That's why they are still in the bag. The stuff that is still in the bag now has some issues, or is at least delayed. Teleflora, by the way. And some of them are really green. There is potential in waiting for the green seedlings to grow, but I wish they would speed things up a little bit. Right now, they don't really give me much hope. A little bit of water, and then they get back in the lamp, under the lamp, closed up, in the bag. And then we check on them again, maybe in a couple of weeks. In that time, you can always lose a few, but at this point, I don't care. They are just not those healthy seedlings. Like the healthy seedlings are already like this, you know? The others, everything that stays behind now, I will wait. I will have patience, but I'm not really trying to save weak plants. This here, similar situation. This seedling here, like that, is so white that it probably doesn't have a chance. It's already looking a little bit transparent. I leave it in, but it doesn't give me hope. Here's a seedling that's lying. Not a good sign, because that could mean that the root is damaged. I would spray it a little just to make the soil a little bit more flexible. And then, yeah, push that in the soil. Okay. If we can get one sorry, if we can get one healthy seedling from this container, it will be good. And at this point, it doesn't look like it. We will start grafting very soon. Okay, this is one. There's just one seedling in here. I have been considering to replanting that in a while, but there never was the right moment to do it. So let's put these on the side. Maybe we can do it next time. Keep it here. These here I haven't checked on in a couple of weeks, maybe. But this looks okay for the fact that they are not growing, but at least they are green. I will give that maybe another couple of months, and then I will bring them out. Then they have to survive no matter what, but they have a little bit more time. Oh, thank you. Yeah. watering is a huge topic. Check out like so far we have done, I don't know, countless live streams in the last 3 months, and so much of it discusses watering. Watering is very important, and I'm trying to find the middle ground between watering. I try to keep the seedlings healthy, but not watering so much that the fungus gnats thrive. It's not that, of course, you can always water more, but then again, you are bringing back these kind of problems. We had a lot of issues with fungus gnats in the beginning, and in order to keep that down, I'm trying to water just as much as we absolutely need, and it's a fine line somewhere. Here, these were dehydrated, but we have like 145 that are looking good, so they get water, but it's not so easy sometimes. You have to have these different kind of things in mind when you are watering. Okay, yeah, these needs, they haven't grown much. This is also Teleflora, intergeneric hybrid, genetic unhealthiness, and they would get sprayed a little bit water, just to give them that rain. They are in a closed bag, and since 3 months, I believe, they should already be much bigger. But they are also so unhealthy that you can't safely bring them out. But it will happen sometime soon. I'm done wasting too much time with seedlings, I don't wanna. At some point, they will have to start growing. I always have a little bit more patience with the seedlings, that sometimes it's worse to wait for them. Some mutations start off very slow in the growth. When you're growing from seed, it can sometimes take half a year until you see the actual mutations in the seedling's body. And at that age, they could turn out really interestingly. Nice body type, nice crest, that kind of stuff. So it can be worth to wait. Okay, next ones. These had a pumice top layer, by the way, and it wasn't bad. This is kind of something that I might be willing to do a little bit more in the future. Just adding a top layer of pumice, and only inside, and only because I know how dry the soil is. Because you always kind of you choose how you want to set up the heater. You choose that kind of indoor temperature, and inside it can be good to have something that protects the top layer from fungus gnat larvae in this case, So we might do more of that in the future if the fungus gnat thing stays an issue. But at this point, I believe you can get them under control just by having a good water management, where you just don't water excessively. They just need a fair amount of water to thrive. Okay, and yeah, if you have that outside, if you have a topping layer like that outside, what often happens is that the soil below is rotten, or at the very least constantly wet, and you don't see it because the topping layer takes that visibility away. And yeah, that is something why I wouldn't use a topping layer outside. Outside, I really want to look at the soil and know exactly how dry or wet it is. Sometimes when I use potting layer, like a topping layer on top, it like the soil would look amazing on the first look, but the moment you started digging deeper, you were smelling the rotten roots, that kind of stuff. It just makes it very hard, without looking into the pot, how much water they need. So yeah, it has benefits, and it also has these kind of things where you need to be careful. But the seedlings look good here. These are okay. Okay. So next ones. Let me see what these are. These are Uvocale seedlings. They now need water. Soil is dry. Not seeing any issues with the fungus gnat. And that is the right time to water. When it dries up, you usually take away that kind of perfect setup where the fungus gnats can can multiply. And then I try to water them enough until the next time they are here. Usually just a day or two. I'm really rotating the seedlings on a regular basis. And yeah, we are on a good path. Later today we will transplant a few seedlings. Maybe these here. This is a container where I feel like they are a little too deep now, and they could use new soil. So let's do that now. Just need gloves. Apparently I forgot my gloves. We get the gloves and then we will repot. Here's the soil already. New soil, new pots. Okay, yeah. They are potted in sowing soil now. I'm doing a lot with sowing soil. I also consider using more of it just as an additive for the larger cacti. So, and I'm filling up the pot, really filling it up. So, okay. Okay. Yeah, the top layer it depends, you know. There are people that have a bad climate. Like when you have these excessively high temperatures sometimes, you know. Like when you're really cooked in summer, then a topping layer can make a little sense because it keeps the water in a little longer. But then again, you know, it makes it so hard to judge what they need on the first look, and that's why I personally believe, especially with beginners, a topping layer can hurt more than it helps. But of course, there's a situation when you can use it and it makes sense. It's just for me, I don't really. I need clear visibility. I need to look in the pot and I need to know, okay, this needs water now. And if I really have to put the finger in the pot, sometimes, you know, you wouldn't do that. Also because it's kind of dangerous to put the fingers into a pot where cactus spines, you know. So I always try to have the same soil through and through, that I can really see what I need to do. Okay, yeah, I want to water that now, just spraying the seedlings here to get them easier out of the old soil. I don't want to rip off the root. And this is the new pot, little square pot. These are the ones that I want to buy again. And these here, they are like the quality, they're so brittle. If I press against it, it will break. I was really disappointed in the quality that they are delivering in the last years. So later I would see if I can find maybe a better source for them. There are some cactus specialized nurseries for that kind of stuff. I will look into that. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah, I'm moving the seedlings into the new soil and I'm removing most of the old soil. Sometimes I can't get it all off, but that doesn't matter. No matter what, you have to have the soil constantly dry out in order to keep the seedlings healthy, in order to keep away pests, and yeah. So you can't really prevent that a pest could get to it there. You need to have the water management that doesn't allow the pests to come up to become a huge issue. And we will try to do that in the next months. If it works, we will see. But that's the plan. Okay. Yeah, and I'm placing them on top of the soil here. And later I will spray them again, trying to get everything clean. Get the soil to a point where I can just push the seedling into the soil carefully. And I'm sure in the new soil, these will do nicely. These will look good. It's not a, like that repotting, that early repotting can be good. Of course, you can't make these big mistakes like injuring the seedlings, that kind of stuff. But if they are healthy, they will appreciate the new soil. Okay. Okay. Almost done here. There are a few, and they look interesting. I like how they look. This is an interesting kind of seedling. They look variegated to a certain degree, but they are growing. Some of them look even whitish, but again, still growing. And you don't have that so often. Okay. There are a few seedlings here and there that don't look perfect, but I want to give them a chance. These look interesting. Can't find the label though. Let me see. I need a big pot so I can unload this. I want to see if there's a label in there. There it is. Thank you for reminding me. I need this situation has reminded me I need new labels. These are just too small. Okay. Two to a pot, what do you mean? I'm not sure what would love to understand. It's not my first language, so I can't really. I'm not sure what you're saying, but I bring them in roughly daily. You know, every plant that needs water comes in here, gets sprayed once a day or something like that. Sometimes twice a day. At some point, you know, you need to, like with the watering. I mean, if this is about watering, they are getting. Like every time the soil is dry, they get new water. That is what I try to do. It doesn't always work, but I'm really behind it. I really try to have that kind of watering schedule. Okay, so these here, this is a Echinopsis multi-hybrid papagei. This is I think a Serenzia telegona also involved in Echinopsis, with Echinopsis, and the father is Goldrose. So this is interesting. These candicans, Buena Vista candicans. Oh, okay. I understand what you mean. Okay. Yeah, I like these Buena Vista candicans hybrids. They might have an actually beautiful flower, really nice flower. The outer, something about that cross always has these very nice outer, like, you know, the sepals outside when they're opening up looks really nice, reddish kind of color often. That plant just passes down a beautiful flower. So keep them going. I hope they survive, because that is in regards to the shape of the flower, that is one of my most favorite plants when it's involved. Has potential. Okay, so I will spray them now. This is still about the plants. This is still at a point where we are growing the seedlings from seeds, so we have many different seedlings per pot. Right now in this pot, I don't know, 25, 30. Take care, mate. Hope you have a nice day. And yeah, take it slow. Give yourself time, and I hope you'll be back soon. Okay, so yeah, I'm moving the seedlings into the soil now. Just pushing them in the soil. And it will take a while until the seedlings find the perfect spot in there. That will just, over time, they will sink in. In the next months, we will experiment with other stuff. Maybe we're sowing out in a mineral soil once just to compare it. Sowing in minerals is a lot, I don't want to say easier, but it's easier when it goes right. Often safer later on. So we might try it out just to show it on the live stream. But right now we're doing everything in a little bit more organic kind of way. I enjoy that. I enjoy that I can sit here and unpot, take something out of the pot without having the minerals right in front of my face. So I enjoy that. But in general, like with fungus gnats, pumice is much safer of a medium for these kind of problems. They just have a hard time surviving in it. They can still survive, but it's a lot harder for them. So of course we will try it out once at least. Okay. Yeah, and this takes a while because you can't push the seedlings into the soil too hard. Got to be careful with the root. Some of them look really fragile, especially when you repot them. Sometimes they haven't had a reason to be strong. They were just leaning against a different seedling earlier. And then when you single them out, it suddenly gets difficult for them to stay up. And for those seedlings, you need to invest the time to have them right in the soil. Yeah, I love the smell of perlite in the morning. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done here. The seedlings already look okay. You can do it like that. It's not great art, but it works. It's just that they have a good connection to the soil. I really believe in just doing stuff. Perfection is overrated. Eventually, we will correct them. Like if something's crooked, we can always fix that later on. Here's a little seedling that also is one of those weak seedlings that can't really stand solidly. I got to be careful with that. I tried leaning it a little bit against another seedling. But the moment you start watering, that will change again. So maybe I will have to do something there again very soon. A little bit more water. It's still dry. Sometimes when I start to dig, I still get into the drier layers of the soil here. Okay. Here's a big piece of wood that I want to take out. I don't like it when I have big pieces of wood in there. Okay, I'm trying to pot that one seedling that is so weak a little deeper. Maybe that helps. Okay, here's a seedling that needs to be in the soil. So I turned that one around. Needs to be cleaned a little. Just spraying it. Okay. Yeah, I think this is all right. They can now go to the lamp. I will put these 2 days below the lamp so that thing dries out now. And then I want to water again. And when I do that, I might actually have to rearrange seedlings again. But this is okay. This is the situation now. And you got to be careful that the soil doesn't stay wet all the time. It's really not a good thing. So I brought this chili again, by the way. I can't tell you what that is. It's just variegation. It looks weird. It doesn't look healthy. Doesn't strike me as superbly healthy. It could still be variegation. I want to water it. Yeah, and it's starting to grow. It's starting to grow a few side shoots, offshoots on the side. So I hope that we will get actual growth here eventually. But this thing here is unique compared to the others. Not really looking like this is roughly the same age as this one here. I don't know. Sometimes you have a cultivar that grows slower. So let me spray this one. Yeah, and I just wanted to show you that that it is flowering. It is flowering. I'm super happy about it. Has white flowers. And very soon we can actually have a good kind of update here. Something good, something big. I'm quite proud. So, okay, so here are some of them, of the seedlings in the takeaway containers. These different type of seedlings than these. Both need to be watered. Everything dry and completely dry. Those takeaway containers, the soil dries really fast in there. And when it dries in a way that is not perfect for seedlings. So gotta make sure that the soil doesn't dry out too much. Okay. You see. I just want to check on some of the seedlings here. Due to the watering, some of them have fallen over. I want to repot these into maybe in pumice. We will see. They don't look great right now. Would definitely love to take them out of the takeaway container, so I can start watering them a little bit more without having to worry that the water will pool. And in these, without drainage holes, I either have to put in drainage holes or repot them. We will see. Either one of those two options. Okay, then I have these here that I wanted to show you. Also test seedlings, germination test that we did on the live stream. And both dry, both completely dry and need water again. And this has been watered yesterday, maybe a couple days ago at the most. So these always dry out very fast. Okay. In this container, I might have to do a little bit more, just lifting seedlings up after they have fallen over. Here's a weak looking seedling that is on the soil. I need to take that out. I will not keep seedlings that look already troubled. Like if they are missing the root, I'm taking them out at that stage. I do not want to waste the healthy soil and make it unhealthy with these weak seedlings that eventually expire. Yeah. Here's a seedling that I want to put a little bit deeper into the soil. Picking it up. In this container, I actually consider repotting. There's just something unhealthy about the way the soil looks here. Really don't like that. Yeah. So I corrected all the seedlings that were obviously a little bit crooked. Now I have, like, now I'm looking at this container. These look mostly all right. The good green skin. And the seedlings don't fall over. It's just a matter of a healthy root. And whether or not a seedling falls over, lies there, that tells so much about the general health already. So these look a little better. But I need to water again. When you water them after something was dry, it will take a while until the soil is really usable. So you can really move the seedlings around. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I took a seedling that was on the outer area here. And very often seedlings fall down there and then you never see them again, or sometimes when it's too late. And I moved one away from there. Okay, apart from that, this is okay. This can go back under the lamp. Not great health, but it's okay. They're hanging in. Always making sure that the soil dries out, that nothing is out of balance. When you have the soil, like I try to water it, the seedlings have time to take it in, a few hours and not more. And then the soil needs to dry up again, and really trying to get that going on a regular basis. I very much prefer when I can water more often within a month compared to when the soil is wet all the time. Let's say you would soak up, like you would really make sure that they are in wet soil all the time. And it would result in a lot of unnecessary losses due to the fact that the soil then can't store enough oxygen anymore. When the soil is completely wet, eventually the seedlings can't get any oxygen out of it. And yeah, the roots will rot. So many different things can happen with these little seedlings. But they also need more water than you would think. Okay, and they come back to the lamp, plant lamp. Same as always. Okay, here's a container where we maybe should take apart a few seedlings here and there. But what, by the way, I want to water these. These are dehydrated. They need more water right away. I'm thinking about what to do here with these seedlings. They are not... I usually try to wait until seedlings are well hydrated, until seedlings aren't super weak. But these don't look so well in the old soil. This is the first generation soil. I feel like maybe we could switch into a new generation, into the the second soil, that would be a little better. They might look a little better then. So let me get new soil. I definitely want to take one of these apart. Maybe this one or this one. This one's a little bit worse. And the seedlings look a little bit more healthy. Let me see. Yeah, we would see. So I believe that this needs to be 2 pots, probably, what's in there. So let me get 2, and then I would split them up, trying to repot. Okay. So I feel the top layer of the soil here with the gloves, and if there's any big pieces, big chunks of wood, I take that out. Now I can still fix something. Once it's in and once the seedlings are in, it's hard to fix. Okay, good. So I think we will take these part. This is just too many. And yeah, I hate it. It needs to be done. I will never sow out so many anymore. At least not at once, you know? Always need a little bit of time in between to deal with all the seedlings that you have. And if you have one pot where you have 3 million seedlings, okay. The one thing, like the lacking space in that part aside, they look okay. Okay. Are you a beginner? I have started growing plants. Let me think. 25, 30 years ago. So yeah, I'm not a beginner, but you're always learning. You know how it is when you are you never stop learning. I never really grow vegetables. On the live stream, I grow a lot of vegetables for the first time, actually. But yeah, I wrote 3 books on the cacti here, like that, what I'm growing. So yeah, I'm at a point where I can keep them alive, but you are never perfect, you know? So there's always something that you can improve. And this year we did a lot. It's going good. I'm happy. We are growing right now, I think 200 containers of seedlings on the live stream. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Lot of seedlings here. And some of them are genetically healthier than others. We're growing a few that are behind because they are unhealthy seedlings, you know, unhealthy mutations. But we're on a good path. Check out the videos that I'm posting. These are good flowers. These are good hybrids. They make it. They will make it. We will get them to adulthood. We will get them to flowering. I will make sure of that. Otherwise would be a waste. Some of them are really good. What we're growing here, it's really good stuff that deserves to be grown. That's why I'm that's why I'm sitting here repotting seedlings, you know. The more work you invest, the healthier they are. Okay. Yeah, I think we will split them up over 2 containers. And then I will hopefully find the label. It must be somewhere down in the pot. I assume it's probably Ovacala hybrid. But yeah, we will see. We will see what we find. I don't think it's something else. This looks like Candicans, Serensia Candicans hybrid, something like that. And it's good that we have taken them apart, because the longer you have them together, the more likely it gets that you lose a few due to infections when they are too close. They would still be somewhat close, but not too close. I don't like when they are pressing against each other in the pot, and that was the case here. Okay. Yeah. Could get busy. Yeah, this could get really busy. But I actually don't want to have 3 pots of that. Oh, come on. Let's get a third one. But it's really frustrating. I really hope this is a good cross. That would be, like, if you're growing so many and eventually they will have to be singled out more, they better be good. So yeah, let me see. Eventually, I just hope that I will find a pot in that label somewhere. No, no, the other way around. That I will find a label in that pot somewhere. Okay, here's an interesting double header seedling, by the way. I didn't even know it was there. Let me clean it up for you. Dischotomus or something like that. Check it out. Nice to have found that. Sometimes it, this is what I mean. If I wouldn't have invested the time to single them out, sometimes you lose these seedlings without knowing that you had them. Soil smells a little bit like mushroom. And that was that first generation soil that we have used. Like that was that cemetery soil. And it had such big pieces of wood in it. And it really smells like mushroom. It's a good time to take them out. And they look good. They are not in a bad shape. I like to grow seedlings in an organic kind of medium, you know? Okay. I'm almost done here. It's like I'm playing in a puddle. I have to find the little seedlings in that other pot here. And it's not getting easier. Next time maybe next time I'm spraying a little less, putting a little less water on it. But then again, that means you're always in the dust. Okay. So let me see if I can find the label now. Yep. Here is it. So this is Uwe Kahle seedling, Gräserserfolg, Selbstbestäubung, Cantora crossed with Bamboy. So this is a good hybrid. We might have to keep them. We might have to keep all of them for now. We will see. And the question is the Gräser hybrid actually self-fertile or is it not? That remains to be seen. We will see. So let me just spray everything, including my hands, so I can maybe get a little bit feeling into my fingers back here with all the mud that's on it. Okay. Yeah, so I will now start pushing the seedlings into the soil and carefully always making sure that I don't injure the little root. Always making a little hole beforehand, and then I put the root in it. Then I push on top of the seedling, sometimes with compressing the soil around the seedling a little bit to make it, to give it structure, give it stability. Okay. Here's a big piece of wood that I want out. It just bothers when I'm moving stuff. Like if you have a big chunk of wood lying there below the seedling, it can constantly mess everything up because the seedling will never sink in the way it should sink in. Okay, a little bit more water here. Yeah, and it's good that we did it. Good that we singled them out. There's some spots on the seedlings that don't look good. Just from pressure. There were too many seedlings in the pot. Okay. And these seedlings will grow into very wide, big plants. I can already see the gräser body on them. And yeah, they are going to be the perfect grafting stock in case the flowers aren't as good as I think they are. Do you germinate any cactus that produce fruit? I have grown a few Cactus. Cactus are known to have these very edible fruit. They are pretty big. They have spines. That's how you can kind of distinguish them. Like when you see the fruit, they are very spiny. And I've heard that their fruit is very good. And I'm growing these, but they are nowhere near as ready. You know, like they are nowhere near to a point where I could eat them. But in the last years, I started to go more into that direction. Maybe I would love to have one big mother plant that produces a few fruits every year. And I also think about growing a few cerois. You know, they with the thinner ribs. Maybe growing a few of them because they have very nice fruit. It never played a big role for me, but now that I'm getting older, that I'm doing more with vegetables, I actually have that on my plan for the future. I once tried planting out Opuntia, but they didn't do well in my climate. It was the wrong species, and they weren't hardened up. But it's good to have something like that. I heard that some stenocerois have edible fruit too. That might be interesting. Okay. So I'm done with the first. These look okay. Trying to keep a little bit distance between them now. If I can, if there's enough space in the pot, I will try to have them a little bit more separate to keep problems from jumping between the seedlings, from seedling to seedling. Cleaning again gives visibility and just keeps everything clean, even keeps the seedlings clean. Okay. Yeah, and I really like how the seedlings look here. These are interesting. The body's interesting. Really like good for grafting. At the very least, if the if the flowers disappoint, we have a lot of good grafting stocks that we could work with. That could be really interesting. Okay. So long term, we will see how the things go with the fungus gnats. If it gets too much, we might actually use a little bit of that topping layer that I've shown you earlier, because that one really developed. That was okay inside. Inside you can control the humidity. Inside you can just wait until the soil is perfectly dry. And sometimes when you have them out in the greenhouse, you can't do that. You can't guarantee that. Sometimes you have them on the shelf and you just have to trust that during winter there's no drip water that gets to them. And you don't have that when you're growing them inside. That will allow me to maybe grow them in a mostly organic soil. With a few exceptions here and there. Okay. Bit more water. And I've seen that here. Something had changed again. Need to correct that also. It will take a while after repotting until the seedlings are perfectly in the new soil. Okay. I have a little bit more space here in this one, so I can put another one in it. And here's that interesting seedling. I would try to put that one in center, just so it gets the best spot, best light in center. And I would try to position the seedlings around it in a way that they stay a little bit away from it, so we don't lose it if something happens to one of the other seedlings, you know? Okay. Little bit more water. And then I will write labels, the new labels for the containers, for the 2 more, no 3. I can reuse the 1 label, but yeah, I need then 2 more. Yeah. Okay. In general, this looks okay. This will be good enough when we're done. And the first thing will be to let the soil dry out once. And when that has happened, I will water them again, and then I will have to move the seedling. Oh, come on. The cable is unfortunately has slipped down from the camera. Let me put the charger back on. This is unbelievable. This is such a common issue with the Samsung smartphone. I don't know why they are not doing something about it. It's constantly slipping out. Oh, now I made a mess. But it's constantly slipping out. And yeah, that's just a bad charging mechanism. Like every now and then, the charging port kind of gets dirty. I feel like their charging system's just not built to last longer than, I don't know, within just a few months. Usually the charger gets so filled with dirt that you can barely use it. I then clean it often with a little needle, but it just never works the same. Then I have to buy a new charger, and that happens every 6 months, every 3 to 6 months. So, yeah, that is the thing with Samsung. I really don't like that. I can't tell you how the charger is with the Apple smartphones today, but I haven't had these issues until I got Samsung smartphones, but I've had it consistently on the Samsung smartphones. I think they should work. They should build a charging mechanism that is built to last. That doesn't mean you have to buy every 3 or 4 months have to buy new chargers. And in my case, I use them a lot. I work a lot with the camera. I film a lot, So I kind of, it definitely gets a lot more wear when it's with me. But I still feel like something, the way they build it, is not well thought through. They should build these things. I still have Nokia handies, Nokia smartphones that I can charge, and that are 30 years old, maybe, and those chargers still function. They have functioned through my childhood, and they still function. Can't be so hard to build a charging port that doesn't always have dirt in it. Like, I don't know how they are supposed to do it. They are getting paid for it. I just know I'm constantly replacing that. Constantly. So yeah, I will finish these up. The seedlings are now in the 3 containers, where I spread them out over the 3 containers. And yeah, then I will write new labels for them. And that's it. Then they go under the lamp, and hopefully they will develop nicely in this new soil. And if not, we can react to that. Here's a seedling that I want to take out, by the way. This is a tiny seedling that never really was healthy to begin with. I would take that out. I only want to put the ones in that really have a chance. If not, it's just a waste of time, waste of space, and additional risk to contaminate. Yeah, so spraying them a little bit now, because I want to have clean seedlings when I put them under the lamp. They should be able to take in the light. You should see the seedling very well if it needs something, if it gets a discoloration, and if they are muddy, then it makes it harder unnecessarily. So yeah, moving all the seedlings to somewhat upright position, a little bit straight, that they don't fall over, or that they are not too close to the soil. It really helps, in my opinion, if seedlings are pointing away from the soil. Sometimes when you pot them up and they're a little bit sideways, that's just not perfect. Sometimes they are surrounded by soil, and a little injury can be enough. Okay, so let's write the labels. And I really want to have these kind of labels again. They are a little bit bigger than the others. Okay. These are not bad. Good size. Just saw that there are a few more seedlings that have fallen out. Let me just put these in between. Okay, here, maybe here. A little bit to fill that void there. Okay, I think we have it. So now we have split up that 1 pot over 3 pots. Once again, a huge thing. It's healthier for the seedlings, but of course it means you need to invest more space. I want to write the label now. if I find the pencil that I have. I believe, like, I think long term, I'm not sure if I want to continue sowing out in the takeaway containers. Probably not, honestly. I really don't like how the seedlings are developing in them. So I really consider that next time we're sowing out with these again. Okay, the label is KA 2023 13th cross of 2023. From the cross Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung Cantora, crossed with Bamboy. And this is really good. This has potential. Okay, next one. KA 2023-13. Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung Cantora, crossed with Bamboy. Okay, good. They can now go under the lamp, have a nice life. Oh, here's the second one that needs to go in here. Okay. Yeah. And I want the soil to dry out now. When it is dry, then we will deal with it again. Oh, here's another seedling that I forgot. They're everywhere. There are just too many seedlings of these. Okay, good. These here need water. Completely dry. And also seedlings where I'm trying to get the soil dry, to give the seedlings an advantage, because they can take a little bit more drought than the pests that they are competing with. So yeah, but they need water on a regular basis, and sometimes they might dehydrate a little. That is not a huge issue, but it's a sign that you should water more. And oops. So we will probably have to replant these next time that I dropped just now. It's not too bad. We can fix it next time. I will put it aside for the next live stream. But yeah, of course, when you don't have enough work, you can create it like that. So these here, check them out here. This is after repotting, and yeah, that's why I say repotting can be pretty good. They look much better compared to the old soil when they were in the old soil. So they get water here, and this is old soil. And this is one of the ones that I want to take apart. Okay. So then these here need water. Developing, but a little too deep in the pot, and this is already second generation soil, right? Yeah, I think it shouldn't be so deep. For now, I just want to water them. Next time, these will come up. New soil, bigger pot. But for now, they're all right. Perfect examples where you have seedlings that you could have pushed harder. If you had watered them more, they would have grown more. But then it would have come at the price of keeping them safe from the pests that love to eat the root. So these here, also on my list of seedlings that I want to repot very soon. For now, just water because they look good. They're for the fact that they're so deep in the pot and in old soil, they look okay. Just a little water here. And these have been moved into new soil. And this is just in the process of sinking in. And in the beginning, when that hasn't happened, you sometimes have the seedlings that are in puffy soil, surrounded by puffy soil. And I hate that because it can take away, it can kind of eat up the seedling. Eventually, you will not see the seedling anymore because the soil around it has become so tall, or because the seedling has sometimes sunken in a little. So you need to fix that a little. Just correcting, making sure that the seedlings are a fair bit above the soil. At the very least, that they are straight, well connected with the root. Yeah, a little bit more water here. Here's a seedling that fell over. Doesn't look like healthy root, but I'm putting it back in, but gut feeling that root doesn't look good. It could be a waste of our time, but I want to give it a chance. So yeah, then these here need water urgently. These are, let me see, very small, have barely grown, and it hasn't changed in the new soil either. But they definitely need a little bit more water in the next days. And I don't think we can save them all. Some of them just look unhealthy, like from before already. Like I said, they have barely grown. Sometimes you have these seedlings that are not unhealthy because of bad care, but because they just have genetical problems. Not every hybrid cross should be grown out. I mean, you can, of course, you can do it out of curiosity. But if seedlings are visibly unwell, like that Frankenstein monster thing, then you might want to ditch them. Might want to, for sake of good genetics, make a different cross. These here, I've repotted them recently and they are okay for now. Might have maybe 3 or 4 more months in this soil, but eventually these need to come out too. This will all need a lot of space, a lot of grow space. Here's a container where I have them in pumice, and that is basically safer in regards to the fungus gnats, and it's a real alternative. There are a lot of cacti that I would personally still grow in mineral. But yeah, everywhere you put this, the minerals fall out of the pot. They are everywhere you work. They are all around you. Wherever you walk in the house, if you have the mineral soil with you, they fall out of every pot. The medium's so light, and that makes it often part of your household then. And I don't like that. I really don't. Okay, so these are the last ones that I'm watering probably. And these are also very small seedlings. Humcus roro, both genetically unhealthy. Hilde Winterer, perfect example what I've been saying earlier. I wouldn't want to, this is visibly not healthy. And the green seedling here could be the saving grace. We will see. But the yellowy seedlings here, I'm not grafting that. I'm not. That is just nothing that I want to invest time in. So yeah, and these here, very similar situation. 1 or 2 green ones, and the rest tiny. Okay, here's another one. These are getting a little bigger. Soil is bone dry. and I still have that tiny bit of water left, so I will use it. Tomorrow I will come back with more. I'm already preparing the outro. So yeah, everyone, thank you guys for having been part of today's live stream again. I'm very happy that I can do that. I feel blessed that I can do that. That we can just do different stuff here. That I have that amazing user base that allows me to do that. Like when I bring the cheerlead for the 20th time, you know, I just like them. I'm just proud that we have grown stuff. And yeah, we will continue like that. So yeah, thank you guys for having been here today. I will be back tomorrow with another live stream, and then we'll do other stuff. There's always something to do. And yeah, I have a 30-meter water hose, and I will roll that thing out today. And there might be a video on the channel when I'm doing that, just to get started with the watering finally. Okay, so thank you guys. I greatly appreciated you. Thank you for having been here. I will be back tomorrow again, and we will sow out or have fun or report, whatever, you know. Thank you guys. Have a nice day, Robert, and everyone else. Wishing you a great day today. Take care.